You know, it's one of those moments when you say, don't play with me. You know, because I respect you, I love you, I've said it in every interview, time and time again. And if that's not good enough with you, mama, then it's something deep-rooted in you. You need to get something is bothering you inside. That's your insecurity bothering you. It's not Nicki Minaj. It would have been any girl that started popping. You know, she picked a fight with Foxy, then she picked a fight with Eve, then she picked a fight with Remy. Now it's, you know, then it was Miss Wallace, then it was Nicki Minaj. Every time you in the news, it's because you getting at somebody. Where's your music? You know, put your music out, and when I see your name on Billboard, that's when I'll respond to you. Other than that, goodbye.
Nicki Minaj, Lil Kim, who's the best?
I don't keep up with the Joneses, but I do know Catherine Zeta. I'm with Candace, Titi, Tembi, and Viola, mi amiga.
Nicki Minaj has sold over 100 million records. She's the rapper behind 2 out of the 4 best-selling female rap albums, with her Pink Friday album. Her biggest single to date is Starship, with over 7.2 million sales. And all that music has gotten her 444 awards, from BET Awards to Kids' Choice Awards, and has made her a net worth of 150 million. Not bad for the Queen Barb. Lil Kim has sold over 45 million records, her best-selling album being Hardcore, selling over 2 million copies. But hold on, because that was just the beginning, because Hardcore, The Notorious Kim, and La Bella Mafia go to form a trifecta of platinum albums, making her the first female rapper to have 3 consecutive platinum albums. She's even won a Grammy with a net worth of 500,000. These are the stats. Who you got? Subscribe for more.
Do you feel some type of way about Nicki dropping an album called Queen?
Oh God. Let me ask you this, right? Like,
Okay.
do you fuck with me for real?
Yeah, yo, Notorious K.I.M. is my shit.
Okay, so no, so you fuck with me, right?
He's a real
Why
Kim
isn't
fan.
this about Kim?
Oh, it's not. I'm just asking.
Yeah, because you know what? If we're gonna mention one female, we need to mention them all.
Okay.
We need to mention everybody, and we need to give everybody love. God bless her. What she did. But you know what? God bless her. I wish her the best. I'm past that. I'm over it. So,
I respect that.
Like, at the end of the day, no, this is gonna stay. Stop asking me about.
I respect that. No, I
that
respect
chick.
that.
I love you. You cool. You always been cool with me. But she did what she did, and until she's ready to be, you know, hopefully God puts it on her mind or whoever else's mind
Right.
to do the right thing, because she knows what she did. And once that happens, then, you know, hopefully everyone will stop asking me, because y'all don't do that to her.
You know, she was just a real cocky type of girl, whatever. She always wanted to be like you. She always wanted to be. On her new album, she has a song called Automatic, and the song is so similar to the song that I played for Slim. It was my sound. I brought that to the table.
You gotta be careful when you pick fights. And that's what I've learned in this business. You just never know.
If they want to do things in BMCs, that's their business. I'm not with any negativity. I'm not with no beef. You know what I'm saying? And I love both of them. You know what I'm saying?
In this industry, you just don't pick fights. And you don't pick fights with Kimmy Blanco. Cause I'm not taking my foot off her neck. Now
She picked a fight with Foxy, then she picked a fight with Eve, then she picked a fight with Remy. Now it's, you know, then it was Miss Wallace, then it was Nicki Minaj.
Every single record she's made was coming at me. I don't care what you say.
It looks like she's back in the streets, doing hood reporting again.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes. Look at you.
Lil Kim versus Nicki Minaj, a timeless beef to remember. Around January 2008, Kim chose to part ways with Atlantic Records. It was also rumored that Nicki would be signing to Atlantic, but she ended up signing to Young Money in 2009. In my opinion, I think Kim may have foreshadowed that Atlantic was trying to replace her with the new kid on the block, Nicki. All of these labels have shiesty business dealings and work hand in hand, in my humble opinion. Soon after leaving Atlantic, Kim started working with Birdman and Slim of Cash Money. In her 2012 interview with The Breakfast Club, she stated that Birdman and Slim suddenly cut her off after she had given them the okay to put Nicki on the song Grinding Making Money. The song was eventually pulled by Birdman because apparently Kim's verse was better than Nicki's. They didn't want Kim to steal Nicki's shine. In the song, Kim said, "Never be another me. What? You out your Your Mind, which was basically a direct shot at Nicki. She also said that Birdman and Slim were studying her swag, stealing her vocals, and her new sound that she planned on maybe using in the future, and basically having Nicki take on her persona. Kim also claimed Nicki was taking shots at her in songs and wanted to be the only one, the main chick in female rap essentially. Around 2008, we did see Nicki copy Kim's 1996 hardcore album pose with her Sucker Free mixtape cover. I think the cover was used as promo to bring a buzz around Nicki's music, and honestly, it was a strategic move by Birdman and Slim, but the cover would eventually get changed. I also noticed that Nicki was very cocky and aggressive in her lyrics, and she was coming for both Kim and Remy, even though she showed them love in public. She blatantly told Kim in the song Batman that she's coming for the crown, and in the song 40 Bars, we can assume that she was talking to Kim when she said, "In the game 10 years strong, and you still can't write your own damn songs." We all know Biggie helped Kim write a lot of her songs, so that was definitely a dig at Kim. This made me realize that Nicki is a two-faced person, because she's nice in person, but in her lyrics, she will come for you. But should we sum this up to her being competitive because it is rap, or is she being a hater? I believe Kim when she basically insinuated that Birdman had put the battery in Nicki's back to come for the other female rappers, because in my opinion, Cash Money doesn't have the best track record either when it comes to business dealings. Nicki told her side of the story concerning her beef with Kim in 2010 during an interview at Hot 97. Nicki claimed that rapper Foxy Brown told her that Kim doesn't like you and she disses you in conversations. I think that was a tad bit messy on Foxy's part, because I personally would have stayed out of their whole beef and debacle, because it just gets messier with more people involved. Moving right along, Kim and Nicki would eventually meet backstage at a Lil Wayne concert. Nicki asked Kim if everything was good with them, and Kim told her everything's good and smiled. Kim, on the other hand, says the story Nicki told about them meeting never happened. Kim then said, "Picture somebody saying to me, 'We good?' I'll wring her throat, snatch her larynx out." But my question is, why did Kim take a picture with Nicki and smile if they weren't good? It seems very odd to me, very fake, and might I say nice nasty on both sides. Of course, the two women went back and forth with diss tracks. Even Ray J and Drake hopped into their beef at one point. In 2010, singer Ray J spoke up for Kim, saying, "I'm seeing a lot of Lil Kim imposters. I'm not saying no names, but you know who." Then Kim said, "We love her. We just want her to pay homage. If you don't pay homage, then F you." In my opinion, these female rappers need to stop feeling entitled to features, stop feeling entitled to somebody having to bring them up. The OGs should also stop feeling like someone has to pay homage to them, because no matter what, like, no one owes you anything technically, unfortunately. Like, no one owes you anything. After Ray J spoke up for Kim, Drake decided he wanted to stick up for Nicki. At a performance, he said, "I don't give a F what Lil Kim or nobody else talking about. You the baddest chick to ever do this ish." And Nicki responded with, "That's family." Kim of course ripped Drake a new one because he chose to come for her and not Ray J. Kim did not even try to hide her disdain for Nicki at this point. You know, she wore pink wigs to mimic Nicki at her concert and kept stating that Nicki was copying her. I believe the height of their beef was when Nicki released her first album, Pink Friday, in 2010, which included the song Roman's Revenge. Nicki basically told Kim, "You're mad cause I took your spot," which prompted Kim to put out Black Friday, the mixtape. She once again called Nicki a Little Kim wannabe and a clone. She also said, "This hood-ish, you and Drake ain't built for it." Little Kim would later tweet that her mixtape sold 113K copies on PayPal in 28 hours. I personally have a hard time believing that, and so did Nicki, because a few hours later, she tweeted, "The devil is a lie," and was laughing hysterically. I mean, really, Nicki? Poor Kim. I personally think the mixtape sold double plastic cups, and we need receipts to prove that Kim actually sold that much in 28 hours. Nicki then came back at Kim with the diss song Tragedy. She talked about Kim having to sell her mixtape on PayPal after being in the game for 15 to 20 years. She called Kim a tragedy, a parody, and Raggedy Ann. My God. The two also went back and forth when Nicki featured on Beyonce's Flawless remix where she called herself Queen of Rap. I personally don't have a problem with Kim responding to Nicki's disses. I just wish she would have did so on her own songs and not piggyback off of Nicki's songs or features. Kim literally made it her mission to prove that Nicki is her clone and would respond to literally everything. She forgot that she's the OG. She sets the trend, and Nicki should be responding to her. Nicki should be copying her and not the other way around. In a way, Kim helped to put the spotlight on Nicki with the constant diss tracks. She actually helped Nicki grow as an artist indirectly without realizing it. Nicki at this time was being heavily pushed by the music industry. We saw her in a lot of features, and she was taking over and dominating female rap and even competing with men. And there is nothing Kim or anyone could have done to stop this, because the music industry unfortunately tells most artists, especially women, when their time is up, and they basically find their replacements, which is what happened to both Kim and Nicki. So Nicki replaced Kim and Cardi was supposed to replace Nicki, but unfortunately Cardi delayed and they found her replacement now, unfortunately. At first, Nicki, when she came on the scene, she was a very aggressive rapper, but I noticed that once she entered the music industry and she really cemented her place, she really started to embody that Black Barbie aesthetic. She wore more colorful wigs and she wore over the top costumes, but Kim was mainly naked most of the time with her colorful wigs as well. Nicki did copy, or some would say steal, Kim's synthetic wig styles. By the way, those wigs looked a hot mess on Kim and they looked a hot mess on Nicki as well. Like, no, of all the things to copy, not those raggedy wigs, all right? Nicki also quote unquote stole Kim's former manager D-Rock. She also stole Kim's mole in one of her looks that she just talking about this is so petty. Like, she stole Kim's mole as well. She also stole the Queen radio name, the Queen of Rap title, being the official Black Barbie, etc, etc, etc. She just copied so much from Kim, or stole so much from Kim. As far as I'm concerned, the Queen of Rap title was up for grabs when Nicki came along, because at that time Kim was technically on the decline and she was no longer at her peak. And in my humble opinion, being labeled as a queen or a Black Barbie is overrated, okay? The thing is, Nicki never said she wasn't inspired by Kim. She said she was definitely inspired and influenced by Kim, but she was also inspired and influenced by a lot of rappers. She loved Kim's swag, but she also loved Foxy Brown, Eminem, and Lauryn Hill's flow and delivery. Like, she saw what she liked in different individuals, and I think she tried to mimic it and basically make it better, if that makes sense. While revisiting this beef, by the way, between Kim and Nicki, I did get a bit of deja vu, if that's the right word for it, because it reminded me so much of Nicki versus Cardi. When Nicki said during her interview at Hot 97 that Kim is gonna go down in history as a sore loser instead of a queen, it reminded me of when Cardi said Nicki is messing up her legacy and looking like a hater. History basically repeated itself, which is why a lot of you guys in my previous video about the decline of Cardi B were saying that Cardi is Nicki's karma, because Cardi is essentially copying everything that Nicki does. And it makes sense, follow the formula that works, However, don't copy somebody's face, allegedly, all right? Allegedly. However, Nicki's longevity, versatility, creativity, and lyricism is something that needs to be studied because I don't think any other female rapper has been able to still be relevant at Nicki's age and charting. But Nicki should thank her barbs for that because they play a major role in her success. Over time, Kim and Nicki have seemed to let go of their tired and through beef, and Kim even wants to do a versus with Nicki now, which is like a shocker. But it does seem odd to me because they're not even from the same generation. But you know, I digress because we're not even gonna get into that one, alright? To sum this up, Little Kim and Nicki's beef started because Birdman and Slim used Kim to propel Nicki. And Nicki was constantly taking digs at Kim in songs prior to getting signed to Young Money, which is why Kim and Remy never liked Nicki from the onset. Like, how are you gonna be talking mad-ish about me and then wanna copy my tired and through wigs? Copy my, my swag. How are you gonna do that? It's the audacity for me. So I understand where Kim was coming from, alright? I'm glad that they're in a good place right now and, they can mention each other in interviews right now. I noticed that Nicki mentioned Kim in her Joe Budden interview as well. So it's like they're in a good place now and they don't really throw shade at each other anymore like they used to. And to sum this all up, Kim walked so Nicki could run. And boy, is she running because they can't seem to get rid of Nicki Minaj, okay? So you guys tell me what you thought about Kim and Nicki's tired beef of wigs and shade.